All right, well, we're going to get into solutions in the final segment coming up, and also want folks to get your book, The Best Way to Rob a Bank is to Own One, by our guest, William K. Black. But Mr. Black, specifically, you've been very critical, even though you were a supporter of Obama, of Geithner and others. Specifically, what has Geithner been up to? I mean, isn't he a central figure in all of this?
Absolutely, and he makes it absolutely clear that Obama, in this category, finance, was continuing the Paulson policies, because Geithner was Paulson's right-hand man. And you would have thought that would have disqualified him, but for some reason that was viewed as a positive by the Obama administration. And so he was not only kept on, he was promoted to Treasury Secretary. And of course, he's continued these policies, and in some ways he's actually made them worse. And that's saying something, because the Paulson policies were horrific.
And then Obama comes out and says, I'm fighting the CEO bonuses. And then it turns out he wrote the executive order and told Senator Dodd to write the loophole in the stimulus package. I mean, that is a new level in arrogant lying.
Well, and it's not just that, because the press reports also show that Treasury is currently working behind the scenes with Wall Street to try to exempt them effectively from even the existing laws that were passed in part over the opposition of the Obama administration.
Oh.
Right? In the stimulus bill, and this again, but, don't give up, folks. In the stimulus bill, there was a revolt among Democrats. And in complete opposition to what President Obama wanted, they put some restraints on bonuses and compensation into the stimulus bill. But, of course, as I said, the reports are that the Obama administration is now trying to work with Wall Street to help evade those restrictions. We need to re-energize both sides of the aisle to stop this.
Mr. Black, what does it mean when they do these stress tests to the banks and then say to the banks, don't tell the public what we found, and then it leaks that the banks are really in dire situation?
Oh, no, it doesn't leak that they're really in dire situation. They're busy leaking the propaganda that everything's wonderful. And it's being picked up uncritically in places like Bloomberg and the New York Times. The stress tests are a sham, and I've said that. People can go on the web, sites like Naked Capitalism, and see excerpts of my reasons why it's a sham. I predicted in advance it would be a sham, and it's obviously proven to be a sham.
That's my next question. And we're about to break, where can people find the body of your work? It's prolific. I mean, they can buy your book in stores, but how do folks find your writings? Just Google William K. Black?
That will work, although you'll get many hits.
Or go to, you said, thenakedcapitalist.com? Or?
Naked Capitalism is one of the financial blog sites. You can look at Huffington Post. You can look at Cato.
All right, stay there, sir. We really appreciate you being with us. An amazing individual, William K. Black, is our guest. We'll be right back. Pepperspray.com. We live in an unpredictable world, and as everyone knows, I'm all about preparedness. Remember, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. That's why I want you to visit our new sponsor, Pepperspray.com, to check out their wide variety of personal security products they have available on their website. Since 1994, Pepperspray.com has made your personal safety their #1 priority. So give them a call at 1-800-908-9988. Again, that number is 1-800-908-9988. Or visit them at pepperspray.com and give yourself some peace of mind. On the web since 94, sell a wide variety of personal safety and security products. You're not only getting security, but peace of mind you deserve as well. Free shipping on orders above $99. Pepper spray of all kinds and strengths, stun guns and tasers, animal repellents, home safety, personal alarms, and much more. Pepperspray.com.
From his Central Texas Command Center, deep behind enemy lines, the information war continues. It's Alex Jones and the GCN Radio Network.
That's right. There is a war on for your mind. And we have somebody who's a great captain for liberty in the fight to get people to open their minds and wake up. William K. Black, author of the best-selling, wrote it 3-4 years ago, and it's bestseller again because he predicted everything that was going to happen. The best way to rob a bank is to own one. Be sure and get that. Because if we don't turn this around, that's the big question, sir. If we don't turn this around and they just continue the Ponzi schemes that are now getting galactic in size, where is this leading us?
Well, you can already see where it's been leading, right? The savings and loan crisis, it was a miracle it was contained when it was, because the political pressure there was even more severe than you had here. But you turned out to have this incredibly brave regulator, Ed Gray, who took on his own administration, took on Wall Street, and succeeded brilliantly. But there's been nobody like that in this crisis. So you had the savings and loan at about $150 billion. Then you go over to Russia, and they tried out these ideas in Russian privatization, and it produced massive corruption and the rise of a few very, very rich multi-billionaires, many of them connected with organized crime.
The oligarchs.
The oligarchs. And when this happens, look what happens politically in reaction, right? You get dramatic political changes as people become infuriated. So where did they hit next? This was the Washington consensus, was their phrase, that we knew how to run life, and it was the way Wall Street said. And so they did this through Latin America. And what did it produce there?
Argentina.
Well, 10 years of stagnation and incredible corruption and giveaways to the biggest, their version of Wall Street. And what has happened politically? Who's getting elected in Latin America? People that now intensely hate capitalism and America in reaction. Well, we didn't learn any of those lessons from any of those crises, so we're currently in this one, and this one is big enough that it's global, and it's going to be the most severe recession in the lives of anybody under the age of 80. We can't afford to repeat it, because you don't just repeat, as I've been trying to get across. When you don't fix it, it doesn't just repeat, it comes back much worse.
Okay, we're going to get to solutions in the final segment coming up in a moment. But Madoff, you talk about organized crime. It's now in the Times of London and the Associated Press. I'm sure you've seen it, that Cuomo's going after one of Madoff's managers, and they're saying they believe there's organized crime, drug money, laundering going on.
In all of the really big frauds, you're going to find the other thing we haven't talked about, and that is the role of the offshore stuff, right? Which is like UBS, we were talking at the giant Swiss bank, where very, very wealthy people evade taxes by putting their money in these tax havens, and that always leads to wide-scale corruption.
And doesn't it lead to selective enforcement, though? I mean, we see Geithner and all of them saying they're going to go after this, but then when you read the fine print, it's selectively, and that's what the Caymans and the Virgin Islands and the Swiss are saying. Is there any truth to that?
Well, that's certainly true, period. In other words, if you looked in the Bush administration was particularly terrible on this. It largely reoriented its enforcement against poor taxpayers and away from rich taxpayers. Actually, what we're trying to do on UBS might reverse that a bit. That would be good news.
We're going to come right back. I want to finish up with that. Yeah, that's right. I remember seeing the numbers where they took almost all the FBI agents off the billionaire swindlers and put them on blue collar and white collar, mid-level stuff. Just amazing. Talk about Fox running the hen house.